Good morning, folks, and welcome. Just before we get into this, let me just say something. The last three videos, the last three videos, with exception to the middle one, the one where I played the Philly Shave record, showing you the Amstrad turntable, and the other one on my test meter tutorial. For some unknown reason, the video is garbled at the beginning for about 15 minutes. That's not me, that's YouTube. I don't know why it's happening. It doesn't happen as soon as the video goes up, it happens soon after. So I don't know what the fucking hell the dickheads are playing at. But I'll say this, it's not my fault. I took that meter video down and put it back up, and the same thing happened after it being up for a while, so I don't know what they're playing at. I ain't got a clue. But I can't deal with substandard quality like that, and to be perfectly honest, if it keeps happening, I'm just going to take all my fucking videos down and close my account. I'm not fucking about, because you know, that's the way it's got to be, I'm afraid. This could be the last video that you see, because I'm not putting up with sub-quality videos. I put a nice quality. I know they're not HD. They come up as HD, but they're actually not. But I put a nice video up, a decent quality video up, just for them fuckers to trash it. But it ain't gonna happen, I'm afraid. So if it happens with this one, there'll be no more videos going up from me, and the lot will be coming down. That'll be the end of me on YouTube. Sorry folks, but that's the way it's got to be. I enjoy making YouTube videos, I enjoy entertaining you, I enjoy having a laugh. But if they're going to start trashing me fucking videos 15 minutes into the beginning of them, then, you know, I'm just not putting anything up, I'm afraid. And, you know, that's the way it is. I'm sorry if you think I'm being blunt, I am. It's the way it's got to be. I haven't changed the process in which I make my videos. The process is the same. Why change something that works? They play perfectly well on my computer when I play them back. I don't have an issue with them whatsoever. I even re-uploaded the meter one, and it still fucking got garbled. In fact, it got garbled worse. It was only garbled into the first something like 9 minutes on the first one. The fucking second one was 16 minutes in, and it was all garbled. How can I illustrate something or explain something if you can't see what it is I'm explaining? That defeats the whole object. So this could be the last video from Vintage Electronics Repair, because if this one gets garbled, then I'm just pulling the whole lot down, and I'm not bothering. I'm just not bothering with it, because to be perfectly honest, I'm getting fucking sick of YouTube and their fucking policies anyway. So, you know, this could be the last one. So sorry about that, folks, but don't blame me. Blame YouTube. If they can't get it right, who am I to say? You know. Anyway, get into this. This is an Ultra. Can't remember exactly what model. Not that matters. Where's my glasses? I'll tell you what model it is. This is an Ultra. Model 6024. Record player. You've seen this on here before. I've done a series on repairing this, and I changed the amplifier. The original amplifier is here. This is the original amplifier out of this. So this is still complete. I recapped this, and still had noise. I didn't change that cap there, that capacitor there. I forgot about that, but I don't think it's that. It's one of these transistors that are noisy, and it's noisy as hell. So I had another amplifier, exactly the same but with different output transistors on it. It's a 5-watt version, and I put that in. Anyway, I sold it to the customer last month, and he rang me up on Sunday. He had an issue with it, with the sound going up and down. So anyway, as most people know, I guarantee my record players for 3 months. Anything I sell, I guarantee it for 3 months. And I honoured the guarantee. He came back with it, and I told him that I would repair it for him and have it ready within a couple of days. And he asked if I had anything else in, an equivalent that I could exchange it with, and you know, to save him a trip back. He's not far from me, but there again, he didn't want to come back. So I mean, if I didn't have anything in, he would have had to have come back. There's no two ways about that. But I did. I had the Bush SRP 51, which I've just done. Anyway, I had that in, and that was up for sale, and it was £10 dearer than what this one was. So, well, actually, this was the same price as the Bush originally, but I knocked £5 off anyway. I gave him that with a £10 cash adjustment in my favour. So he's now got that, and what we'll do, we'll look into this. It's only a dry joint, because when Chris brought it back, I switched it on and I tapped. See if we can get it to do it now while I finish me fag and have me brew. Let's plug it in. Basically, the sound was dropping out, so we'll turn it on. There we are, it's doing it straight away. Hear that? Nothing? There we are. Nothing? There we go. And that's what it's doing. So what we'll do, we'll pull the amp out, see if we can get the amp out without taking the frigging deck out. If not, the whole lot will have to come apart. And get the plug out, because we don't need the plug in now. I've shown you what it does. Pull the knobs off ready. We'll get prepared. And put the knobs there. And we'll get this thing fixed. See, the thing with these is, the thing with these old record players is, when you get them in, when you do them, you can't go through, you know, you don't have the time to sit there and go through absolutely everything, you know, and that's one of the purposes why I give a guarantee, because if there's an issue found, if the customer finds an issue, then he can come back. You know, and I mean, even if it was a week after the guarantee or whatever, I would have still honoured it, because I'm a fair man, I'm an honest man, and I'm reasonable, and you know, that's the way I operate. It's the way I've always operated. It's the only way to do it. It's, you know, and so basically I gave him an equivalent with a slight cash adjustment, and he went away happy. I mean, in all fairness, I think the Bush was a better player. It had a Garrard deck in it for a start. It's got a TC, it's got a 2025 TC in it, Garrard. It had better bass response, and you know, generally it was a nicer, I think it's a nicer player, a nicer sounding player in general. But that said, there's nothing absolutely wrong with the sound on this. But what I will say, while I'm before we get into it, I was watching a video the other day that the Happy Little Fox, aka Benji, put up, because I've been watching these videos, and he's got an Ultra amplifier. He's been working on an Ultra amplifier, which is the same amplifier that I've got in this, and I can show you on this other board actually, because it's the same board with the exception of the transistors. Get rid of that fucking fag, it keeps going out. And now I've got an itchy foot. Jesus. Right. So if I put the old spectacles on, what Benji was saying was, now I didn't know this, these here speaker leads here, well yeah, I knew that obviously, let's bring it in. What Benji was saying is to have a slurp of me coffee. Oh, that's nice. It's about 3 in the morning. Right, what Benji was saying, in the amplifier he's working on, bloody fucking hell, there we are. This capacitor here, if I get something to point at it, get my big sausages out of the way. This capacitor here couples your speaker to your output transistors, which are here, and this one here is obviously your driver. Oh no, that's a diode. That's a diode. So where the fuck's your driver? Your driver's got to be, but that ain't it, because there's only 2 fucking legs on the bastard. Driver's this one here. Your driver's that one there. Got to be that one there. Anyway, because this one here is a preamp and this one here is an amplifier as well. These are your outputs and that's your diode. Anyway, this capacitor here, which is the value of this one, is probably the same as what's in the amplifier that Benji's working on, because obviously I do put like for like in if I've got them. Can't fucking see the value on the bastard in thing. Where are you? Jesus. Hang on a minute, give me fucking eyes a wipe. There we are. There we go. This is a 470 microfarad, and I think that's what really should. I think that's what was in there originally. I can't remember, but it was what Benji was saying, that if you increase the value of this capacitor, then you improve the bass response. So we might use this amplifier, I might find a heatsink for it, and we might use this amplifier to experiment with that, because this amplifier works. The only thing wrong with it is the output, is the not the output, there's a noisy transistor, and I suspect it's either this or this here. Oh fucking I still can't see. Jesus man. It's either this one here or this one here. It's one of the 2 of them. It won't be the driver and it's not the outputs. So anyway, it could even be a damaged resistor. But it could even be that cap there, because I didn't change that. And this is also missing its volume and off control, which is not an issue. Anyway, but that's what we're going to look at. And see if we can make the amplifier a bit more bassy. See if we can improve the bass response. Anyway, let's get stuck in. Let's get the inspection panel removed and see if we can get the amplifier out without taking the deck out. Because I think there will be enough wire, and it's a slotted screw we need. Slotted screwdriver. I hope we've got one that fits. I should have. There we are. So I was quite pleased spotting that video by Benji, because that was something I didn't know. I wasn't sure of, so, you know, hang on. Yeah, have a bit of that, folks. Yeah, the paint's coming off this fucking decker now. Not that I'm asked about that. I've still got the original deck that came out of this. I might throw the fucking thing back in. See how I feel. The original white deck. That was a well sort of grey off white. Might throw the fucker back in. See how we feel. There we go. Can we get the amplifier out without taking the deck out? Probably can't, but we'll have a look. See what the issue is. No, don't think we can. I think we've got to take the deck out to get the fucking amp out. Yeah, you won't get the tool pass there. Never mind. We have to do what we have to do. The deck has to come out, the deck has to come out. It's as simple as that. So, alright, and I thought the screws were underneath on this. It's been about a month. They're not. They're here on the side and on the back. There we go. They're a nice record player. He's got a decent sound on them. They're not bad. Get the other one up the other side. Just move the power cable a minute so it doesn't knock the knobs and inspection cover plastic screws everywhere. There we go. Don't want to lose anything, do we? Right. Right. There we go. Get the final screw. We'll get the fucking amp out and have a look. Oop. There. There we go. Right. Let's get the lid up. See what the best way is to tackle this. There is no screws underneath, is there? No, it's all been there. Right, let's get the fucking thing out. There we are. You wouldn't think that was only out a month ago, would you? Oh, Jesus. No more screws in it, so let's soon slide the whole unit forward. There we are. Now I know there's no more screws in it, so there we go. Out we come. There we go. There we go. Right. Now let's have a look at this fucking amp. Right, there's one screw for it. I think that's the fucking screw for it. Right. Have a look. Right. Right, there's another screw there. Trying to figure out. One of the things are stuck in there as well. It's that one. It's the knob. How the fuck's that come out? It doesn't matter because I'm trying to work out let's turn it round. Right, there's the it's them two there that come out. Yeah. Bit confusing that for a couple of seconds. It's these two, yeah, it's these two here. Yeah, that one. Where's my smaller tool? I can't get into that one. Right. That's better. Oh, there we go. Yeah, like I say, Benji's been messing about with the same type of amp, and because this amp was used in a lot of it was used in HMVs, Ferguson, Marconi phones. It's a standard BSR, it's a standard BRC amp. You know, it can, you know, it can be found in many different animals. So we'll give the board an examination, and I'm pretty sure that we're just on a dry joint. So, you know, when these things happen, I mean, there we go. The nice thing about these is they allow enough wire for the engineer to work on them. They allow you to take them out of the cabinet pretty decently, so the engineer can work on them. See, there's part of the knob in there, you see, but we need to get that out. and put that back on where it belongs, and put that back on here. So let's worry about that after. Get the amplifier fixed. Right, so let's have a look at the amplifier. As you can see, it's a standard amplifier that BRC used. So let's have a look and find out what we've got, what the issue is. Right, so when we tap it, it goes off. So what I'm going to do, I'll look at this here. So what we'll do, we'll get something to put over this here so we don't cause any problems. Just get a cloth, will do it. Put a cloth over there. Make sure I keep my fucking hands away from round here, because mains goes in here. Yeah, we've got a 240 volt neon on there, so we want to make sure we keep our fingers away from the side. So we'll turn the volume up. Plug it back in. Have a slurp of my coffee. I actually think I might have found the problem actually. I'll turn it on. Let me just... There we go. Do that one as well. And that one. Now switch it on. See if we found the problem. Yep. Yep. There we go. We will go over it though, but there was just a dry joint on the volume control. That's all it was. If I just get my pointy finger, I'll just show you. Just there. Just a dry joint on the volume control, that's all it was. But we'll double check everything anyway. There's something here where somebody's worked on it in the past I'm not happy with. I'm not pleased about that. That looks disgusting, so we'll clean all that up and I'll do a repair there myself. You can see here, if I zoom you in, you can see take my glasses off a second, don't know whether you can see that, but there's a big lump that looks like somebody's been at in the past. So it's obviously been worked on in the past by someone other than me. Right, so I don't know why I fuck about, you know. I've got this fucking motorised tripod. I just hope they don't fuck my video up, because I'm getting sick of it. I mean, what's the point of me putting good quality stuff up just for YouTube to fuck it up? There we are. Just for YouTube to fuck it up. It pisses me off, folks, it does. Right, just here. See that there? That's a mess. So I'm going to get the solder sucker. I'm going to unsuck that and clean it all. Make a nice joint there. That looks disgusting. But we've fixed the fault anyway. But at least we've fixed the fault. Just a dry joint on the volume control. Right. Take this off here as well. There we are. Get it out. Someone's had a meal out of this. Jesus. Someone's made a meal out of this. There's fucking wires, bits of wire on it and everything. Look at that. Wow. Someone's had a fucking meal out of it. Let's clean all of that. There we go. Right. Clean all this up. This is a mess. So that there, take that off. There we go. What's happened is there's a pad missing, which went to here. So what we'll do, a piece of solder, and we'll solder a new, we'll solder that back up again here. Touch all these up here. Make sure there's no shorts, and we're okay. That's good enough. Now what we need to do, find a piece of wire. It's only broken there, which is a shame really. Wonder where it goes. It seems to be a dead end. It isn't though, it goes to... So what we'll do, we'll clip that there. Now what we'll do, we'll put a blob of solder. Yeah, Steve's not here for a couple of weeks. I'm going to miss him. I look forward to his Sunday company. He's got other plans for the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm going to miss him. Enjoy his company on a Sunday. We have a right laugh. The top guy, Steve. I always say, folks, there's two kinds of people in this world. There's the kind that you wish you hadn't set your fucking eyes on. You know, there's the kind you wish you'd never fucking met, and then there's the kind that you're glad you did, and Steve's one of the ones that you're glad you did. He's a really, really top fella. Really, really top fella. Knowledgeable as well. Really knows his stuff. Right, so what we'll do next, we'll snip that there. what we'll do, now I've got to do this now without snipping, without fucking cutting the wire, and without fucking pulling the insulation off. Well, you couldn't. So we've still got plenty there. Let me just take it back off there a sec. Might make it easier. There we go. Yeah, that's going to make it easier. Oh, nearly lost my wire. Good job I'm a fat fucker, innit? Yeah, but it's a bit annoying YouTube fucking pissing me fucking videos up. You know, it really is annoying. We'll solder that onto there. There we go. You sure we're in? We are. Then all we do, you tin the end of that. I mean, I should have really noticed this when I did this amplifier the first time round, but certain things get past you. We can't do everything. We can't spot every single blemish. I mean, don't care what people say. We're only human at the end of the day. Some people think that we're miracle makers. Some people have even called me a genius. Wouldn't go that fucking far. But all we do now is we just connect our wire back up to that. There we go. Now make sure we've got nothing causing no obstruction. No, we're nice. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. No, I'm happy with that. We'll turn that back on and give it the tap test. But we already know the problem was a dry joint on the volume control. That's the on off and volume there. That's the bass control there. That's the, is it? Yeah, the end one's the bass, that's the treble. We'll just have a quick feel and just check everything else, because this is I recapped this amplifier years ago, but I didn't. Yeah, that's yeah. Check that that's loose as well. There we go. Alright. Give that a bit of a, another one with a damage pad. There we go. So what we'll do there, we'll get my fingers in. There we go. Whee! Gotta keep farting, folks. There we go. I mean, that wasn't the fault, but it wouldn't help. yeah. Now let's turn it back on and do the tap test. Let's have a quick slurp of my coffee first. That's off. That's on, set about halfway. Right, that's off. Do the tap test. Yep, I'm happy with that. Right, we'll have a fag and then we'll put it back together. I'm happy with that, folks. A couple of dry joints, we'll call it. And then I'll run it through its paces and get it back up for sale. Yeah, one of the rings have come off the knob as well. I'm going to have to glue that back on. It's come off that one, so we'll make sure we don't lose that. Because one thing we don't want to do is lose our ring. Can't go through life losing your ring. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, push that back on. I'll actually give that a bit of glue. That needs to be pushed on as well, but we'll do that. We'll deal with that when we come put the amplifier back in. I mean, I've not done bad really, you know, folks. Let's zoom back out. I've not done bad really, you know, because I've been selling record players for a long time and I've been in the business since I was a kid. And, you know, in all honesty, this is the first one that's come back for a long time, so in years even, and, you know, even the fur coat, even the Fidelity fur coat, no knickers. You remember the one I built the amplifiers up for that from kits off eBay, and I put 2 new amplifiers in it. Even that never came back, you know. And you know, but saying that, you can't go right through every. I mean, I will go through this now. Well, I just have been, but I mean, you can't go through absolutely everything because, like I've just said before, you know, that's why. You know, and that's why I give a guarantee. I give a guarantee so that you know, if the customer finds a problem, he can come back and he can say, hey, you know, this is not right, and I can say, no, I agree, and I can sort it out for him or her. See, you know, when you get yourself a good name, I've got a good name, and when you get yourself a good name, you like to keep hold of it. You know, because let's face it, folks, you know, if you get a reputation, you know, shit sticks. You know, it really does. You get yourself a bad reputation, and you know, no one's gonna want to deal with you. No one's gonna want to fucking come anywhere near you. You won't get touched with a barge pole. You know, but you know, I thoroughly believe if you're honest with people, then you know, you give people a fair deal and you're honest with people, then they come back. Or they'll recommend their friends. I mean, the guy who bought this, he's bought 2 record players off me. He's got 2 of my record players. He bought this and then he came back for the little Marconi. He bought the little Marconi. He bought that as a spare, and you know, just well, plus it was a reasonable price. I only wanted 30 quid for that. Well, I wanted a bit more, but it wasn't selling, so I reduced it. And he came and he picked it up for 30 quid, and I don't blame him. He got a good deal. He got a good record player, and you know, you treat your customers fair, and they're fair back with you. Like years ago when I used to do the tellies in the 80s, in the early to mid 80s and whatnot, when I used to do the tellies, I used to get invited in for tea and everything. You know, I used to get biscuits. You know, I used to get biscuits given me and cups of tea, and you know, I even got items. I even got designer clothes and stuff. You know, off some people. You know, I had a few quid. You know, yeah, I'd have this. You know, and not that I needed it, but used to get some nice stuff. You know, but you know, you're fair with your customers, they're right with you. I mean, it's as simple as that. I used to get invited for me dinner and everything at some places. You know, you're hungry, yeah, I get that down your neck, you know. Nice big plate of food put out. Lovely, go for it, you know. And, you know, you give them a good deal on the repair, you know, where an engineer with a shop or whatever might want fucking 50 or 60 quid, you know, because I was doing it from home, I could do the job for like fucking, what, 30 or 40 quid, you know, maybe a bit less even, and, you know, people, people sort of respect you, you know, and they're kind to you when you know, you give them a good deal, they're kind to you, you know, people are nice. Some are anyway. I mean, I used to get high fives and all sorts given me. I mean, videos and all sorts of things. I used to take them home, fix them if they weren't working. A lot of the stuff I got was working. I used to take it home and flog it. You know, you know, but yeah, you know, times change. I mean, there's no money in the television business now. The money went out of that in the fucking early 2000s. They brought these fucking shitty flat things out which don't last 5 years. You know, they're crap basically. You know, they're just fucking rubbish really. I mean, I wouldn't waste my money on one. I've got one here I use as a monitor. It's a Sony Bravia, but I got it for nothing. And the backlight came on, the sound came on, but there was nothing on the display. Turned out to be a fuse on the T-Con panel. And I found that out by watching a YouTube video. An Irish fella did one. It wasn't exactly the same model as mine, but very, very similar. I think it was a bit bigger. It was a slightly bigger set. And, you know, so I just did what he did and it came on. The picture came on. I just replaced that little fuse. And the only thing that blew, the only reason why the fuse blew, in his opinion, I can't remember the name of his channel. I think I'm subscribed to it, but I can't remember the name of it offhand. But you know, he thinks the reason why the fuse blew was because it gets very hot up there, and it does. So, you know, and I think that's why he thought the fuse blew, because when he replaced it, it didn't. And when I replaced mine, it didn't. It still hasn't. And I've had this television now for well over 2 years. But these cheap supermarket televisions, no, you stay away from them. You know, no matter what kind of a deal you think you're getting, you're not really getting a deal. It'd be out for the bin man in 2 years. The way I look at it, if they want 150 quid and they're prepared to give you a free or a 4-year guarantee, then buy it. But I wouldn't pay 150 quid or 200 quid for a telly and accept a year's guarantee. I just wouldn't, because I know it's not going to last. You know, at the end of the day, it's not going to last. So I wouldn't waste my money on one. I'd rather buy something old. I mean, in all honesty, this Bravia's not been bad, but there again, it was free. The lad who I got it off, a mate of mine, he had an Alba, which was a lot bigger than this. I can't remember the size, but it was bigger, and he wanted it repairing. And I did it for his. Scraps has come to say hello. Hello, Scraps. Hello, son. Yeah, people haven't seen you for a bit, have they, eh? Do a video tomorrow, eh? Or a bit later. If the weather's nice, to take the camera out, we'll do a bit of video, eh? And let everybody see you. Yeah, because I can't see you down there. Let's see if I can move the camera. See if I can get the camera around so we can see Scraps. Let's bring it round. Yeah. So we can all have a look at Scraps, because I know a lot of you like to see him. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Yep. Point it at me. Come down. That's as far as we can go, folks. I don't think we'll be able to see him. We'll find out though. State of my t-shirt. T-shirt don't last me long. I put a clean one on every day, believe it or not. You wouldn't think it, but I do. And come here. Come on. Come up. He's got all camera shy now. Come on. Come on. Come up. Come here. Come here. Come on then. He's round here right in front of me. Come on. Come here. There, come here. There, we're going to be able to see you. No, we still can't see you. No, you can't get the camera low enough for us to see him on the camera. It's a shame. Straight at me, you get hairs all over me, you do, you know. Oh, there's his nose, look. You just see his nose there. Yeah, I can't get him I can't get the camera any lower. And I can't go any back any further. There's shit behind me, and there's not much room behind me anyway. Anyway, I'm now, my fag's got a duck's ass on the end of it. Let's move the camera back round. There we go. Oops. Everybody should have one of these remote control tripods, because it saves fucking about getting up and moving your camera. I mean, I can zoom in with remote control, I can do everything I want, and I don't have to get up and say, hang on a minute, let me move it over here. I can just move it about, and I mean, admittedly I can't move the camera from where it is to here, but I can move it up and down, you know, I can move it up and down and pan it left and right, which is what I want, and I can zoom in and out. You know, and that's you know, that's why my videos are not in HD anymore, because I swapped my camera with my mate Mike, and he gave me a cash adjustment as well. But the reason why I went for the deal is because this camera's remote control, and I preferred remote control over high definition. Not a lot of video cameras are remote control now, and you know, because they probably don't see the need for them to be, but I think they should be. So you can, you know, for people like us YouTubers, we can move them about then without having to get up and zoom in. Because it's a pain in the ass, really. When you consider it, you have to stand up and lean out your chair and fuck about. Well, I don't have none of that. And this tripod top that I've got, this radio controlled tripod top, it only costs about 25 quid or something daft. And it broke once. It fell over and broke. And it sheared one of the gears inside. And I was able to buy, the gear that sheared was on the top of the motor. And I was able to buy the replacement motor for £1 or 150 or something. It was something daft. It was very, very cheap for the motor. So I replaced it, and it's worked perfectly ever since. But they do tell you in the instructions to be careful with it, you know, and I had it on the windowsill at the time, and it fell off the windowsill and fell down on me. But you know, the tripod it's on now, well, it's not really a tripod as such. It's the bottom part is a microphone stand, the middle part is a curtain pole, and the top part is a tripod. Obviously I needed the top of the tripod. I can adjust it actually. I can adjust the height still. There is actually some degree of adjustment. If I need the camera to be a bit higher, I can actually adjust the height of the tripod. But I never need to. I mean, the position I have it in, I leave it in all the time. I don't change. That's why I don't understand why them videos are blocky at the beginning. Why they're going like that, because they're playing perfect on my computer. I haven't changed the methods in which I film. I haven't changed the methods in which I prepare my videos. So, I mean, well, why would I? What works for me, I leave it. If something works good, then I leave it because I'm happy with it. So, you know, I don't understand that. So anyway, let's get this amplifier back in. Let's get this amplifier back in and get this thing put back together and get it ready. Let's get me glasses on. We've been through it. It's a couple of dry joints. There's a bit of a mess that somebody had left on the board, which we've tidied up, and this just slips into here, slips into there like that. That's all that does, it just goes there like that. Whoops. I have to stand up to do this, aren't I? Because it just sits on a ledge in there. There we are. That's it. The hardest part really is putting the fucking washers and the nuts back on. You have to hold the washers and try and work your way get your nuts on, but we can get our record on in a minute. Come on, you fucker. Oh, this is a pain in the fucking house to get you. There we are. Let's get them as straight as centered as possible. That's one in. I mean, it was only what do you call it, this? It was only a simple problem. It was, you know, but like I say, that's why I give a guarantee, because if there's an issue, then the customer can come back and, you know, he can come back and get satisfaction, really. You know, which he did. He came back and, you know, I sorted the problem out. I mean, he could have had this one back. Wouldn't have been an issue. I just said to him it'll take me a couple of days to get onto it for you. But, you know, I mean, if it, in all honesty, if he'd have wanted it back, I'd have got onto it last night. But as I'd done an exchange with, as I'd exchanged it with him, given that it's mine, I decided to do it tonight instead. But yeah, I found that video that Benji, the happy little fox, aka Benji, put up. The turntable clip is missing off this. Well, it's not missing, it went under the rubber mat of the turntable when I last repaired it. I couldn't get the fucker back out. I left it under there, so it's actually not missing, it is there, just not where it should be. So might find a turntable clip for it. Just clip this, push this back all the way. Oops. That's the only problem with these, is getting these. That's it. Getting them back all the way. Sometimes I don't like playing ball on the dust. I don't think we're fucking level there. No, we weren't. Just lift it up a little bit, let it clip into the groove. That's it. Oh no, it's not. That's it. There we are, we're in. Now, put the inspection panel back on. There we go. And we're in. Now, let's just plug it back in. Oh, hang on, we want our knobs back on, don't we? And I've got to put, so we want power on off. Where's the fucking volume, the treble knob? Want our treble control. There we go. And the bass control, I've got to push this fucking thing back on. It's popped out. So it pops on that way, but actually I've just worked it out. Let's pull it back off. Actually goes down one of the slits there. There we go. Pushes in one of the slits. There's a little bit of the knob broke off, but it won't make any difference. It will still, the knob will still go on. There we are. Still works, it's not going anywhere. And what I'll do, I'll put a little bit of bead of super glue around that later. Around that little bright. Put a little bit of glue around that to secure that. So, right. What am I going in there for? Record. Here we are. Right. Just let this go through a cycle so the centre spindle can clip back into place, because I took it out. There. Let's put that there where it belongs. That tight, yeah, because that used to be loose, but I glued it. Because the fucking thread on the screw had gone. There we go, so I glued it. There we are. No crackling. So what we'll do, whoa, why did it do that? Might have a wire caught under there. Don't know why it did that. Might have had a wire caught on it or something. Right, let's try it from the very beginning again. We're fucking flying here. It's done it. I've done the same thing again. Must be a wire or something caught under there. Just have a look in a minute if it does it again. There we are. Treble, bass. Round and round like the Billy Shave. With that rotary action like the Billy Shave. Twist up and down and tilt like it's floating heads. Unique Billy Shave. Twist here, twist there, twist just like it's floating heads. Floating heads caress your face. Stubborn whiskers go without a trace. But his personal touch is so unique. It's made for every face by a new technique. Let's twist! Floating heads caress your face. Stubborn whiskers go without a trace. Now this personal touch is so unique. And it's made for every face by a new technique. Well, now it's made to measure shaving with the Billy Shave. Personal touch. Your top is stubble, don't worry, Billy Shave. Personal touch. Here's the modern twisting shaving that a razor never gave. Shave smoother, quicker, closer, with a Phillips. Round and around and around. With a Phillips. Round and around and around. I said a Phillips. Billy Shave. Billy Shave. Billy Shave. Oh, there we go. There we are. Not wrong with that now. Perfect. It just had that bit of a glitch. Just check this again. if that's playing up, it's only something catching underneath it and dragging and doing that, because there we are. Might have even been the speed, this might have even been that slightly not in position, because this was actually rebuilt. This was actually rebuilt, this mechanism. There's a video of me on YouTube doing it. Yeah. There was a video of me on YouTube doing it, so I know there's nothing wrong with this mechanism. It's as good as a brand new one. It was rebuilt, so there we are. But that's it, it's all done. What I'll do, I will actually play a few records on it. Obviously I can't play more than what I do on here because it's copyright. A lot of the stuff is copyrighted, everything just about is. So I'll just play a few and give it a really good test and see how it performs. Pretty confident we've got it fixed, and it can find itself a new owner. So in fact I'm that confident I'm going to put the screws back in a minute. Anyway folks, I'm going to leave it there for now, and I hope this video doesn't get mushed up, because to be honest with you, if it does, then that's the end of me on YouTube, I'm afraid. So, you know, but you know, I'm not making good content, good quality content, just for them to trash it when it goes up. That's not happening. I mean, they're taking too many liberties as it is, YouTube, with the policies and shit they're coming in with. You can't even go live now on a mobile device unless you've got 1,000 subscribers. Which is fucking, that's shite. I mean, what's the fucking point of that? I don't understand the point of that. You know, you've got to have 1,000 subscribers before you can go live on a mobile device. Yet you can go live on a desktop computer. I don't see the fucking logic behind that. They're a load of dickheads who run YouTube. They really are. They're cocksuckers of the biggest order. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, folks. And thank you very much for joining me, and more to come later. What have we got to come? Let me just have a look around the workshop. I'll tell you what I'm going to put on the bench next, and I might do it tonight. I might do it now, straight after this. I might, well, once this has come off the camera, I might get this off the camera and then come back on, and I've got a Stellar radio. Not a Stellar, sorry. Solora. I've got a Solora radio. I think it's not Solora. Fucking hell, Andy, get it right. Sobel. I've got a Sobel, and I've also got a Fidelity, and the Fidelity's got an ancient PP9 in it. And I'm interested actually to see whether the Fidelity actually works. So how about we have a play with that next? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring that little Fidelity in. I got it from the car boot sale a few months ago. When me and Mildred went, the first time I went to the car boot sale with Mildred, I got it then, and it's got an ancient battery in it, and it's really corroded, and it'd be interesting actually to see if the radio actually does anything. So what we'll do, we'll get the power supply hooked up, get it hooked up to 9 volts, and you know, we'll get it apart, get it hooked up to 9 volts, and I might even do a tutorial. Somebody's asked me if I would do a tutorial on the signal tracer, so that might be a good candidate for doing a video on the signal tracer, because I've done a video on a homemade signal tracer, but I've never actually done an in-depth one on the one I use now. You know, I've never really done a video on that, so you know. But I think the going back to going back to the happy little fox, aka Benji, I think he's got the right idea for that little amplifier that he's got. The little ultra amplifier. He's got to turn it into a signal generator, a signal tracer. Yeah, and I think that's a good idea for it. That's a perfect use for it. You know, I mean, he could sell that amplifier on eBay. There's plenty of people with a record player that matches that would buy that from him. But I think it's more beneficial for him to turn it into a signal tracer. I think that's what I'd do. You know, because yeah, you can sell it and then be without a signal tracer. So yeah, top one, Benji. You know, make yourself a signal tracer. I mean, basically, you've got a signal tracer. All you do is make up the probe and plug it in, and you've got yourself a signal tracer. You don't have to do anything else with the amp. You know, I mean, this thing I've got up here, it's not really a signal tracer. It's actually a null indicator, and I bought it from the swap meet at Goldborn, and I gave a £5 for it, and it makes a perfect signal generator, a perfect signal tracer. I keep saying generator, but tracer. It makes a perfect signal tracer for, you know, for what I need. I mean, it's all it is really. It's just a little audio amplifier. It's got a Magic Eye valve in it, so you can actually, if you're working later, I mean, I don't have to worry too much about that because my neighbour upstairs, she's very, very good, and you know, she's very good. She's very forgiving. She never whinges at me for putting music on at any hours, but you know, I'm also a considerate neighbour as well. I'm a good neighbour. I don't take liberties. I don't take the piss. Like putting really loud on, like, you know, I have it fairly low at this time of the morning, which is, I think, is right. And you know, but if I had to, then I could just rely on the Magic Eye, just have it up maybe a little bit, and rely on the Magic Eye that's in there, and see if I'm getting any sort of signal, and then just nip the volume up a little bit to see what this sounds like. So, you know, and the other good thing about a signal generator, signal tracer, is you can use it for testing ceramic cartridges. It doesn't do magnetic very well unless you got a preamp, but I have got a preamp, so I could use that. I could plug my preamp in and use that. I've got a really good preamp. I'll just give you a quick look at it now. If I can get in the fucking drawer that it's in. There we are. It should be in here. Here we are. I've got this one, which is a really. This is one of your high-end preamps. I mean, this was £60 odd. This is nearly £70. This thing, phono preamp. It's a bit dusty, but there we go. Look, there's my preamp. It's an Art Accessories DJ Pre2 phono amplifier, phono preamplifier. You get a gain control on this one. Gives you a gain control, and you've also got low cut and flat. And what's the other one? 100 PF and 200 PF. Take it as a capacitor, and you've got your sockets on the back, and you can run this on DC or AC. It will run either way. 9 volts AC DC, you can run either way. You know, and this is that's what it looks like at the back, and you know, it gives you a little diagram on the bottom there, and that's what I use. I mean, I could actually have this set up for testing magnetic cartridges if I want, but I just choose not to bother. There's a, like I say, it has a gain trim control, so you can turn the gain up or whatever. And you know, I bought that because I had an amplifier that didn't have a phono preamp stage in it, and I needed one. I needed one, so I bought that. And I thought, if I'm going to pay money, I may as well buy the best I can possibly get for the money I've got, for what was available. So that was the one I went for, and it's a really good one. I mean, you can buy cheap ones that do the job, but like anything in this world, the more you spend, the better you get, usually. You know, you can't expect to pay horse shit and get good quality money, good quality products rather. You know, you can't expect to spend £1 and get something worth 50. Doesn't work that way. I mean, I paid what's about 65, just under 70 quid for that thing, and you know, I can't expect to get a product that would cost £300. I don't look at it that way, you know, but that is more than adequate for what I would ever need if I ever have to use it. And I've used it, but you know, I prefer to have an amplifier with a phono stage built in, which is what I've got at the moment. But that's there, and you know, it's whatever I want to use it for. If I want to connect it up and use it in conjunction with my signal tracer, I just kick the tripod. If I want to use it in conjunction with a signal tracer, I can. If I want to just leave it in my drawer and leave it there for 25 years and not go near it, I can do that as well. You know, but it's available when I need it, and you know, I've got a little radio transmitter in there, a little FM transmitter, which I could use for testing radios, but I don't see the point of that because there's plenty of FM broadcasts, so I don't feel the need to actually have a transmitter set up in the workshop, especially when there's plenty of stuff on the air coming in. I mean, you know, but when it comes to having your own transmitter in your workshop, I don't see the point, because even if your radio's a bit deaf, it's still going to pick up. It's still going to pick up a decent signal from your transmitter, so it could easily fool you. So I prefer. What I like to do is find a weak signal on a known good radio, and then look for the same station on a radio that I suspect. But anyway, that's the way I do things. Not necessarily the way everybody does it, but it's the way I do it, and I find that the way I do things works for me. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, folks. But what we'll do, we'll get the little I'll get this footage off, and we'll get the little Fidelity out, and with the crusty battery, and we'll have a look inside that and see what surprises lurk in there for us, and we'll get the 9-volt, we'll get the power supply up and running. I might even change my power supply tonight, because I have got a current limited one, but I'm just not sure if the power lead's long enough to go where I need it to. Because my sockets that power me power supply are under there. So I'm not sure if I've got enough lead on me replacement power supply. I might have to put a longer lead on it, but I'm not going to put an extension on. I have actually got, funny enough, I have actually got one of those IEC extensions. I could use that and then put an IEC plug on the end, you know, a proper sealed one. Could even go down that road, but if the wire's long enough, I'll swap it over, and then I'll have a current, because it goes from 0 to 30 volts, and it's current limited as well. And it's 2 amps. It's rated at 2. I think it's rated at 2 amps. Whereas this one I use here goes from 0 to 15 volts, and it's rated at about 25-30 amps or something. I think. Let's have a look. It tells me on the front. Yeah, it's 25 amp. Goes up to 25 amps. But that was designed for running a ham radio setup where all that current's needed. And there's a few people on Marketplace when I photographed a record player, and they've seen that in the background and asked me if I've been interested in selling it, but I'm not. I'll never sell it, because you never know when you need a good beefy power supply. So it's always there, so that'll be put into storage. I've repaired it once as well. The rectifier went down in it, and I replaced the rectifier, and it's worked perfect ever since. But you know what I'll do, I'll get this back together, get a cup of coffee made, get the footage off the camera, get the memory card on the camera wiped again so I don't get confused, and we'll get on to the little fidelity. Thank you very much for joining me on this video, and hopefully if this one goes through clean and doesn't mush up at the beginning, then we'll you know, we shall continue making them. I might remake my meter footage. I don't think there's anything wrong with my footage, because it plays perfect, like I say. It's something YouTube's doing. It's got to be, because I've never changed the way I do things. I mean, whatever works for me, that's what I use. And you know, whatever works for me, that's what I use, and it's the way I do things. I don't change a formula that's good. What's the point? Anyway folks, you all take it easy. Enjoy the vid. I'll catch us all later. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate you watching. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate your comments. You know, I really do appreciate yous all. Thank you very much. Bye for now folks.